Couch of Thrones! Yeah! Couch of Thrones!
Welcome!
This is Couch of Thrones, and welcome to the Iron Couch.
Indeed. Cheers.
Cheers.
Zoe, cheers tonight.
Thank you
for
having
us.
us. Dornish Red.
Cheers.
Well, we are welcoming to the couch. One team, two people. It's pretty fantastic to have you guys here because they are in last place.
Like fantastic to have
It's
you.
exciting
Yeah.
because normally I'm on this couch with two people who are kicking my ass. And today it's one person who is still in a pretty significant lead.
Yeah.
And two people who now get to enjoy the bottom that they've taken from Chris Bond, who had previously sort of staked out that territory for 5 episodes until this one ended.
And so just to be clear, those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome. So we're going to talk about Game of Thrones, the latest episode of Game of Thrones, which is Eastwatch, episode 5. And we do it through the frame of the league that we're in. So we're all in a league, like a fantasy football league. But about Game of Thrones. And so
But yeah, instead of sports geeks, we're like movie and TV geeks.
fantasy.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm Melissa. This is Matthew. This is
Erin.
And I'm David.
And together, your team is
Arya Stark Raven Mad Lad,
great. It's such
It's a
a great
solid name.
title.
which we are
But
for
we
our
didn't
team.
get Arya though.
You didn't.
didn't.
So the thing is that it randomly generates who gets to draft first, and I was picked, and I picked Arya. So.
And we can't blame you.
But what's funny is that my team name is Cersei We All, which is a nod to Battlestar Galactica and also Cersei Lannister, and I didn't want Cersei. I just liked the name.
And
we
oddly
have-
enough,
And you have
You
Cersei.
guys have
her.
So there you go.
and my team has no one from Dorne, but my
You
team
had
name...
someone from Dorne. You had a
I
Sand
did.
Snake.
Yeah, they're all dead now.
Yeah, right.
But,
Well, you never know.
well, mine are all dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the team is called Dorne You Forget About Me. And, yeah, no, I've forgotten about Dorne. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Most
There's
people
not
have.
much to remember, except the wine.
Dorne was mentioned in last night's episode, but we'll get to that. Yeah, I'm very surprised that I'm still in first place. I did not think I would be because Trevor was only behind me by like 5 points or something.
Yeah.
So I expected to be overtaken, but then I got some surprising points.
We
From
were
some
all
places I
surprised
didn't
by the
expect.
points you got.
Yeah, everyone. So there's a lot of. Okay, let's just air this out here. There's a lot of resentment toward Bran on this couch tonight. I don't understand why. I love Bran. I feel very strongly about the journey Bran is on. I feel like we don't know the limits of his magic at this point. We don't understand fully what he's capable of, and I think that's very exciting. But not everyone on this couch shares that opinion.
Well, Bran's basically just a boring robot now.
He's
No.
really boring.
Guy, he is not boring at all.
Well, he does
can
enable...
I'm
communicate.
surprised he's even hugging his sisters.
Well, he kind of
Well,
just sits there.
Guys, this
gives
is what
them knives.
happens.
He's receiving a hug.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised he's even receiving it.
Well, it's hard for him because he's not really Bran anymore. I feel bad
It's
for
true.
him.
But should
He
you be
does
getting
have
those
a-
points?
I should be getting those points. He's
Who
a,
did you draft?
he is a magical being.
Yeah.
The Three-Eyed Raven. He's like the Three-Eyed Raven point 2
Yeah,
or whatever.
2.0.
2.0. Like he's the next Three-Eyed
Yeah.
Raven.
Max von Sydow was great, but, Bran we've known a bit longer.
I love Bran. I feel like it's very hard to be Bran. He's been through so much, and he's instrumental to what happens on the show in
But
so
how?
many ways.
Well, he
Okay,
was also
first
he was
of all,
he was instrumental to the first shot straight out of Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
where-
I know. Really, the show is turning into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
a
I
little
mean,
bit, which I love.
it begins with the crows, the ravens, going over the battlefield, which feels a lot like Saruman trying to scope out the territory, but we want this to happen. And then it ends with the Fellowship of the White Walkers. So it's an interesting kind of
Yeah.
up north. It's becoming very Lord of the Rings.
It is. I have no complaints about that. But
No,
yeah.
I like it.
Well, and it is a story. I mean, George R. R. Martin said he wanted to explore good versus evil, and those narratives we're used to. And I
Yeah.
mean, Lord of the Rings is
It's
a
a-
narrative narrative
yeah.
about that, right? So it makes sense
Absolutely.
that would be part of his. I mean, he even says George R. R. Martin talked a lot about how Tolkien changed the way we looked at fantasy and the building of the world and the languages, and obviously that was a huge influence on him. I mean,
Yeah.
Dothraki and Valyrian and all of the whole schmear. George R. R.
Absolutely.
Martin.
Schmear.
Yeah.
What I was saying about what I don't like about Bran, or to relate to the fantasy, is that he somehow has more wits points than Tyrion.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
fair.
allowed to not like him as someone who has Tyrion and who's. I think we should blame our last place on our first draft pick being Tyrion, and he's kind of not helped us this year.
It's weird
Yeah.
because Tyrion is usually like the wittiest guy
Lots
on
of
the
jokes,
show,
lots of
and
drinking.
he's just been coming up
Lots of
shy.
sex, normally.
Lots of sex.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's I think in seasons past he's been a real point scorer.
Lot of scoring.
But yeah,
Yeah.
all around.
All around. Well, so I guess last night we should chat a bit about I guess where we left off last week, which
Yeah.
was a lot of questions around Jamie and Bronn.
Yeah,
and who
Jamie was
saved.
sinking to the bottom of an
Yeah.
ocean that seemed to appear out of nowhere beside a pond.
Yeah.
So there was some weird stuff happening, and then I guess it was a figurative ocean, because we began with him just being dragged out the side of a riverbed, which, I mean, with the rate at which this show is going, and the speed with which people are traveling, I guess that's the fastest way to get somewhere, but I can't help but feel like if this was season 3, there would have been a dramatic rescue in the water of some, like, they had time in previous years. But this season is moving at such a crazy rate that you just got to drag him out, have a scene, and move on.
There's also a lot of questions around, like, he's wearing armor, like, could Bronn actually help pull him out of that? How did they manage to, like, get far enough away from all the people on the opposite side of this
Because it sure as
fight?
heck
Like,
wasn't swimming. I don't know if you've ever tried to swim in a leather jacket and leather pants, but it cannot be easy.
Have you tried?
It's a marathon. I've tried it. It's really not so great.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was like,
No.
this is
What
a
do you-
thing I don't know about you.
No, but there was like a lifeguarding exercise I had to do once where you had to go and swim in clothes. It was like, bring some clothes.
Right,
You're okay
yeah.
to throw in there.
Just any
That's
clothes
right.
would be
Yeah,
fine,
it was jeans and like a sweater. And holy crap, man.
Yeah.
Your ability to swim is so compromised. So imagine wearing a metal dress, as the Dothraki call it. You're going to sink. And the guy wearing leather is not going to be able to rescue you.
Yeah.
But that aside, they, sort of pummeled right through that storyline and made it very clear that Bronn was not going to let Jaime die without paying him what he's owed. And that got Bronn some points.
It did. Bronn got some points.
Being witty and kind of snarky. And we moved very quickly into the rest of this episode that was at a breakneck speed.
This season, like, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like this season has been, it's very satisfying how quickly it's going because they're tying up so many loose ends and people are meeting one another, but it also feels a little bit sometimes discombobulating.
I think some of the meetings are unsatisfying as well.
Yes, yeah, you do
So
have
the meeting
that.
happens and you check off that, okay, they met, but
And some of
It's
them,
not very satisfying.
They got to a place really quickly.
and there's
Yeah.
some real
But maybe it
fan
wasn't
service
satisfying.
happening
Yeah.
in this season because when Davos meets, spoiler alert, Gendry.
Gendry's back!
When Gendry comes back, Davos says the thing that we've all been saying for 4 years. I was wondering if you were still rowing.
Yeah.
Because we left him in a boat, and that was the end of the story for him. And then he shows up again to, I don't know, die very quickly in the north? Hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't know that hammer.
It's a pretty sweet-looking
Yeah,
hammer.
It's a pretty good hammer.
But I've got to ask, how did he learn to use a hammer on moving targets? It's not like he
You
had a
need to
master
train.
at arms to train him. It's just like, this is heavy, I can swing it. You're not hitting the thing you're holding with the other hand.
There's
You're
some
hitting something
slippage,
coming at
though,
you.
in blacksmithery. I mean, there's some.
Yeah, right.
Move to the
Whoops.
side. Like, you gotta.
Some slippage. That's a good way to put it.
I don't know. I'm not.
I think
I'm not a blacksmith.
Blacksmith slippage prepares you for war.
Yeah.
I think that's what we've learned.
I like that. I don't. This has been kind of come up everywhere. This speed with which everyone's traveling, and I like that. It's sort of poetry. It's the minimization of all this stuff that doesn't matter. It's getting rid of that, and I appreciate it because we don't need to see these traveling scenes all the time. So I've liked that. I buy it. I buy it.
It's a weird
Cool.
departure because we used to have these long scenes about being on the road, and even this season we got to see Arya meet Ed Sheeran on the road, and we had a couple of moments between point A and point B. But in this episode, the fact that we had people go from Dragonstone to King's Landing to Dragonstone, all the way up to Eastwatch, that was like 30 days on horseback.
What's the actual distance? Is there a legend in the bottom of the map?
I don't know, but I was sitting on
Yeah.
Google Maps trying to figure out if you took a bicycle, because a bicycle can move kind of at the rate of a horse, but not at the rate of a marching platoon. Right. And there were a lot of people on foot in on King Robert Baratheon's month-long trek from
that took them a
Winterfell.
Month.
That was a month on the road.
Yeah.
So if you're like rowing, you're not going faster. If you've got sails, it's not a speedboat.
Yeah.
We're looking at potentially 2 weeks to a month of them having Gendry all the way south at King's Landing to all the way north at Eastwatch. That's a lot of time. We're just skipping. Like they can't afford now to show us the journey, and there's nothing useful on the journey. But on that journey, stuff's got to be happening in other parts of the world, and that's the concern for me. It's like if that took a month, or maybe let's say half that time. Let's say it can move at twice that speed.
Okay.
If it took 2 weeks, that means Daenerys is just sitting at Dragonstone doing nothing for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And I can see how we need to get characters from point A to point B, but the clock ticks all around. And so that weirds me out about the speed with which we need to move the chess pieces around the board, because it's a big board.
I think what they want us to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they want us to suspend our disbelief to the point where it's like, all of these acts are converging. So, like, there's nothing of note in those 2 weeks that happens. Everyone's just lining up their ducks, and then people meet in certain places. Like, I think we just now have to take that on.
Yeah, because we've had armies just go from the far east to the far west of Westeros in, like, surprise time.
Yeah.
That no one could have even thought they could have moved armies from here to there. And it's like, well, we didn't think that because we don't realize how quickly the time is going. But obviously Jaime Lannister thought of it because he's been outsmarting Tyrion all along.
Yeah. Jaime's been... But I feel so complicated, as usual, about Jaime Lannister. Because I think he's got so many wonderful qualities. His relationship with Tyrion... And I hate saying this because I feel like... I hate it when narratives get reduced to, oh, that woman is so bad for that man. Like, having watched so many narratives in my lifetime as a woman, especially in fantasy. What?
Sorry, my lifetime as a woman just sounded like the part of my life when I was a man, it was very different.
Right.
But in my life,
I've always identified as a woman. I'm a cisgendered woman, just to let everyone know. But I feel like in my time as a female on this planet watching content, I feel like I've seen so many narratives where it's like, ooh, that man-eater woman who's diabolical, that Sharon Stone, Glenn Close, like
manipulating that poor man.
Yeah, and I don't like to reduce it to that.
Yeah.
I think it's more complicated with that, but than that with Jaime and Cersei, but it is a little bit like every time he gets near her and she just knows how to push those buttons in him because they love each other and they're related.
And because he knows how to push some buttons too,
he does.
They apparently have a new Tom and Joffrey Marcella on the way.
No, I think it's a lie. Who thinks that the baby is a lie? That the pregnancy might be a lie? Might be.
You're really reducing the
because he was thinking about it.
Who thinks it is a lie? Might be a lie.
I think it is a lie.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's not. Either it's a lie or it's a hysterical pregnancy, and the Mad Queen theory
and
includes.
There's no baby in there, though.
I don't think there's a baby. Okay. I don't think Cersei and Jaime are having a baby.
That scene when Jaime walked in and she was with her...
with Qyburn.
Yep. So is he also a registered OBGYN as well?
Qyburn can do everything.
He can
really fix up a...
Is that what
he can fix up a stump.
Right?
He can bring a man back from the dead.
That portion of his maester training.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said OGBYN too.
You did. OG, the original
the
OGBYN.
I don't think I got those letters right, but thank you for not correcting me.
I mean, the thing about it is, like, yes, okay, so if she is pregnant, then yes, maybe Qyburn was there to consult on that, or to, like, examine her, who knows.
Yeah.
Or maybe Qyburn is also, like, developing weapons.
Right.
Reanimating the mountain, like...
Yeah.
So this is
poison.
Making poison.
He does have business to do there either way, but it did look like doctorly. That's for sure.
And so maybe
it did.
Then.
Well, because he was.
I don't know.
It looked like he could have providing wise counsel.
It's
exactly.
entirely possible.
But that's why I kind of believe it could be true because that's a big ruse. Like, you come in here and you attend to me so that when Jamie walks in, he sees
a bit
us,
curious.
and then he'll go, what was that? It's
Oh,
like,
no.
well, I'm being checked out.
I don't
because
think it was planned, though.
Oh.
Like, I don't think she planned. I think she was just meeting with Qyburn.
Oh.
And then...
She didn't have her
Not
legs
to
in
discuss
there.
baby number 4.
No, I don't think so.
I felt like they were meeting to discuss the baby, and that was part of what... Because
That's what they want you to
initially
think.
you asked that question, and that's the answering of that question. That's a great scene when it begins with a question and it gives the answer.
I don't think.
But it's a red herring, I think.
Like-
That's what I think.
I don't
I think
she
it's a
should
real. I think it's a
have
real
another
pregnancy.
child.
I
I
don't
think,
think
yeah.
it'll become a real.
I think
baby.
she. I think she should
It'll
stop
become a-
having children.
She should
Yeah,
stop having
quite
children.
frankly,
I love how you're like, it won't be a real baby. It'll be like a fake baby. Maybe
Remember
it'll
when
be
Daenerys
like
had that weird like ash baby?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
sad. Oh, but that's dark magic.
All right.
The
Hey,
dark
man.
arts. Also, Melisandre gave birth to the crazy...
Yeah, beastly,
dark arts
beastly
baby.
things
Shadow.
escape.
Yeah. But I think that if she is pregnant, which I don't think she is, but if she is, I think she obviously loses the baby, which some people say. So some of the theories that we've heard, and please, if you're watching, let us know what you think. Some of the theories that we've heard are that they think that she's going to lose the baby, and that's going to make her go even further into madness, which might then set in motion things that would then force Jamie to kill her, which a lot of people think Jamie will be the
That's what
engine of
I'm
her
banking
death.
on. The whole reason Jamie was my first pick was because I think he's the Kingslayer and will also become the Queenslayer. It's just so beautiful,
Yeah.
that storyline. Plus, I just think he's the only one uniquely positioned to do it.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I
would slay her in the most dramatic way.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Cersei
And
just
lay
got his
her in
hooks
the
back.
most-
As he
Lay
does.
her and slay her.
Because Cersei just got
The Queen
just
Layer.
got her hooks into him a little bit further because
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's
It
good.
was
I like
such
that.
a terrible pun. I'm
Queen Layer.
sorry.
no, that's good.
Oh
This
no.
is a good one.
Trying to-
I feel like the fact that Jamie was willing to have this like covert meeting with Tyrion and not mention it to Cersei, but Cersei knew about it. I feel like Cersei knows her hooks aren't all the way into her brother.
Did Jamie know he was meeting with Tyrion?
No.
I thought it was
No.
a surprise.
That
It
was
was.
a
It was like
surprise.
a surprise.
But the fact that
sit
Cersei
down.
was aware of it means that she can sense the first thing that he said wasn't, "Hey, I met with Tyrion. Oh no." He wasn't forthright enough for her because she said, "Don't you betray me again," and she saw it entirely as a betrayal.
Which
that
is
he
why I
hadn't
don't
mentioned
think
it immediately.
That's why I don't think she's pregnant. I think it's all a manipulation. That's just what I
Yeah.
think. I mean, who knows? I also think it's not a very compelling storyline to me that she's pregnant. I don't find a lot of currency in it. You got some points for it though.
So did
That's
I.
just-
all we got points. for
Status
last night.
points.
Yeah.
15, and then we're gonna get them taken away when
It's a fake
if
pregnancy.
you're like we can't even have those 15 points.
Well,
You're
we'll
trying-
see. We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes. Because the thing about our league is that the games master or the gameskeeper, whatever she's called,
The Throne Master.
the throne master.
Considers.
Well, it's very subjective, right? So things shift and change, and sometimes you think you should get points for something and you don't,
Right.
or sometimes you're like, oh, weird, I got points for that. I didn't expect to.
She
So
doesn't think Tyrion's very witty.
she
No.
doesn't. She
Yeah.
doesn't. She's not
He
enjoying.
hasn't told any
Tyrion.
jokes this year.
No,
though.
but
But
Yeah.
he's had some
Tyrion's
good
had some
lines.
good little-
They're all like,
yeah.
"Don't do this. It's not funny."
Well, and that
I
conversation.
wouldn't do that.
That conversation he had with Varys over wine.
Yeah, that was.
They got
Yeah.
more points for drinking the wine than for the conversation. I mean, Varys said something a little bit cute about, well, how do we get Cersei to not murder us? And I got
Yeah.
points for that.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
not a particularly witty conversation, considering two of the cleverest people on
Too
the show
fun,
were
yeah.
getting drunk together.
She
Yeah.
had full wit.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think
That's
you guys
probably-
should have gotten some whip points for that.
Yeah, that probably happens when two funny people get together. Like, just let's
Yeah,
be
they
serious
just
for a
banter it
second.
out.
Let's not like.
Let's not do
Let's
our
not
thing.
try. That's for other
I'm not going to
people.
give you my shtick.
Yeah,
Let's just have a
say, but I know your moves.
Yeah. Come up with some new material.
Yeah.
Speaking of intimate conversations, I think we're also divided on the couch in terms of the reunion between Tyrion and Jamie. I know you had some strong feelings about it, Erin.
Well, I feel like it was pretty unsatisfying. A lot has happened since, and it was, it was pretty quiet. I guess you could read into it. You could look in Jamie's eyes and you could see all the feelings.
Yeah.
But I mean, the conversation in the end got reduced to the, I can't help who I am, which I think they've moved beyond that. They should have been talking about other things. I think.
See, I didn't-
I don't know.
I agreed.
I know you
I
agree.
had that as it was happening. I was like, why are we rehashing the same conversation? You have new things to talk about beyond where
I disagree so much.
beyond, hey, you're really beating me at this game of chess where all the people we grew up with die. And it's like that conversation happened quickly, and then it got into, do you think I want to be a dwarf? And it's like, yeah, we've had that conversation between these guys
Okay,
before.
let me just stop everything for a second. First of all, just because people have talked about something before doesn't mean that all the things that have happened to them since that last conversation doesn't mean that there's not more resonance to the same thing they're going to speak about. Because the thing that he was talking about, the way he looks and his dwarfism, but he was talking about it in the context of, I killed our father because our father was this way. They did address the issue with Tywin, and I thought that was the crux of it for Tyrion. That's why he was saying that. Also, you don't know what it's like to be a dwarf in that situation, to be a little person.
I don't know what it's like to be a dwarf in any situation.
I know, but that's why I'm saying, for you to say, like, okay, haven't we talked about how you feel about your body? Like, let him, that's, his whole existence has been negated by his family, except for Jaime, because they blame him for killing his mom. He was just born. And I just think that's so unfair. I just want to say that for Tyrion.
I did find the speed at which they were discussing the whole, oh, you didn't kill the baby because Olenna told, or you didn't kill Joffrey because Olenna told me that, and oh, I don't hate you so much because I know you didn't kill Joffrey.
Right,
and, oh,
okay.
Like, all of that was like, happened so quickly, and even Jaime trying to like blurt out that information to Cersei, she was like having none of it, and then was like, okay, maybe, and it just like there were so many things happening across two conversations that huge things like your entire quest for seasons of this show to kill Tyrion is irrelevant, and it was just like, moving on, and you know that could have been a bigger moment if the show wasn't moving so quickly.
Fair enough.
Now, Trevor Martin is asking if we think Bronn is going to be punished. Will he leave, get demoted, go to the Wall? Because Cersei was not impressed with Bronn knowing that Tyrion was there and bringing Jaime to him. Granted, Bronn's the only person who likes both of them.
Yeah,
Bronn
that's true.
saved Jaime, though.
Yeah, I don't feel like
pulled him out like a wet rat.
Yeah, it's true.
With all that armor.
With all that armor, he
able
must
to
be so strong.
Right? Well, he's named Bronn.
I like that idea that Bronn gets sent to the... Like, I guess I had to be reminded yesterday that people are still doing that. That was oh yeah, that happens. That's why people go there. You've done something
is there time for people to take the black these days?
Go up,
like,
get your training.
Yeah.
Get everyone to just go to the Wall instead of killing them.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's a better use of them.
I like that.
It'd be funny because there's a lot of people talk about how the actress who plays Cersei, Lena Headey, and the actor who plays Bronn, and I can't remember his name right now, they dated apparently and had like a really bad breakup, and so like she requested that they never have a scene together in the show. Like,
so
apparently
they have no screen time
there's
together.
like drama around that, but so it'd be funny if they were like that.
Yeah, or if she's like, that's it, off with his head, and she finally gets to just have his way.
Maybe that would give her closure.
Maybe.
That's good. I didn't know that.
Apparently, I've heard that a bunch of places, different places. Gossip, Game of Thrones gossip.
Now, I wonder what Euron is going to think about Cersei being pregnant with Jaime's baby, because we haven't seen Euron for 2 episodes now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's got anything else to rock and roll.
Well, if he's a real man,
up with.
he will raise that baby.
Challenge. That's a challenge from David.
Raise that baby as his own.
Raise that baby.
Wait, that does suggest that there is no baby then, but I like the idea that his reaction to it, like, whoa, wait a minute.
This is Euron Greyjoy. He's going to raise R-A-Z-E that baby.
Yeah.
Oh, Euron Greyjoy. I wonder if we're gonna even see. I wonder. Well, a belly, fair enough. But I wonder if even because there's next week's episode, I have a feeling is going to largely be at north of the Wall. We'll see Winterfell a bit. We'll see Dragonstone a bit, but mostly it's going to be at the Wall.
Maybe no Cersei or Tyrion.
Maybe not.
I wonder.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, Tyrion will be in there, but I don't know what.
The last time there was a big battle happening north of the Wall at Hardhome, we had the entire running time of the episode north of the Wall. We don't have that kind of time.
No, and they won't do that this time because it actually when we saw Hardhome, we needed. And similarly with Battle of the Bastards, like both of those battles, narratively, we needed that whole episode. All of what was happening in Westeros came down to those battles for us. But now, what's happening in other parts of Westeros is really important
Yeah,
to
and
what's
this goofy plan does not require the entire running time of an episode
You
to
mean
like
go there, get
catch
a walker,
walker and
put
Can
him
we
in a
talk
bag,
about this
sack,
plan?
drag him
Yeah.
home. Like,
This just sounds like a bad plan from Walking Dead
plan.
right now.
And can I say,
Yeah.
as a lover of Jorah Mormont, those of you who have watched this before know my heart.
Who got some status points
He
this
did.
particular
He
episode?
did because
for-
he's back in
the Queen's good
Daenerys'
graces.
You
Yeah.
got a proper hug too.
Yeah,
did.
that was
Not
nice.
a-
and a nice
not a
little like
brand.
handhold. It was really
John
sweet.
was not
A
like
brand
that.
starter
John was
hug.
like, wait,
Who's this?
Who's
blonde
this guy?
This old
the
guy.
the best
Yeah.
guy in Westeros. That's who. But I feel like I'm surprised that the Onion Knight and Jorah, like these really intelligent, like strategic men. I mean, Davos is a smuggler. He's not like a military man or anything. But how did they think this was a good idea? How is this a good plan? How do you have a cave full of dragon glass and then you go to where the White Walkers are and I don't see them with a lot of dragon glass?
Did they
More
even
than that-
bring it? Like they didn't.
I don't.
How do
thought
you
they had
have
some in
They
their
have time for
pocket.
Gendry to like make something.
But how do you
No,
have a
didn't have time.
sky full of dragons and take a boat?
Yeah.
That's the kookiest thing. This reminds me of the end of Lord of the Rings, where
Yeah.
griffins show up or eagles
Eagles,
show up,
they're
and it's
eagles,
like,
yeah.
oh, eagles. They will immediately get us from point A to point B, but you made us walk, Gandalf?
Yeah, you made
jackass.
You made Sam and
Builds
Frodo
character.
just like
and
it's
like
a lot of character.
yeah,
you know?
that's
They built a lot of
brutal amount of
character.
character. It also made you kill characters.
Yeah.
And it's a really strange choice for Daenerys to not be like, okay, you're right. If we throw an ice zombie at Cersei, she'll be like, oh shit, ice zombies. But if you want
Yeah.
to do that effectively, swoop down with a dragon. You've got air support. Nobody else has air support.
just grab one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a,
grab
like
one.
A gull grabbing
Yeah.
a little.
It like a
Fish.
gull
Yeah,
grabbing
like a
a
little
fish, or
fish,
like
yeah.
pecking
Ooh.
an egg. You
Yeah.
just grab it, swing it over, drop it off in the Red Keep, and fly home. You've done it in like an evening, and you're finished.
Well, what's funny is we'll get to more about the preview for next episode, but there is a lot of talk about that potentially happening anyway. People are calling it
Dragon Ex Machina?
which I
Oh,
love.
yeah.
But it's like, but I don't know how that would happen because if that's not part of your plan to begin with, I don't know why that would be how you, like, how would you know to swoop in and save
You
the
know,
day?
maybe Daenerys will feel bad that she.
Is the worst leader ever for the most part.
Well,
these
in the
days.
preview for next week, you can see that moment where she and Tyrion are looking at each other with like longing concern, and maybe that's what's happening. Maybe Tyrion's like, you have 3 bombers that
He
you
hasn't been
decided
right
to not
yet
use.
this year,
Yeah,
so maybe
no,
maybe this is
Tyrion.
the time.
This could be the
Oh,
moment.
Tyrion.
And
6 times a charm.
speaking of him being wrong, is Greyjoy still just holding down the fort at Casterly
Yeah,
Rock?
look, he's at
Just,
Casterly Rock.
like
Yeah.
enjoying Lannister
pining.
hospitality.
No, he's pining.
Pining.
He's
Yeah.
like yearning
Well, and
for
how
Missandei.
long has he been there for? Also,
Months.
Yeah, this
Must
could be.
be so
This is
bored.
weeks.
He's
Maybe
and
only
so
a few
bored, and they have no food.
And is Euron Greyjoy just like?
Torturing Yara.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yara.
But I was gonna say, is he just doing like a naval blockade and hanging out there? Because it's been
Yeah, we've
weeks
been
since
back
we've
to Cas-
seen either of them.
I have a feeling that in the last episode of the season, much like in the past couple of seasons at least, we're gonna touch on all the major
the
story
places,
points because
yeah.
we've got to set ourselves up for next season.
Well, the final episode of this season is a feature-length episode,
Yeah.
and I feel like the reason for that is because we need to have an episode where we not just like check in with all of the characters like we do in the 10th episode of most of the seasons rating up to now. You need time to tell a story with every one of those characters, and feature length is kind of the only way you're going to be able to do that in 7 of these.
Like,
Yeah.
we talking like the 3-hour feature length version?
Well, it's just like a
Like
Chris.
90
Is
minutes.
Like
this
a Robert
yeah.
Altman.
Yeah,
Is this
yeah,
a
yeah,
Chris
exactly.
Nolan
Yeah, it's like
feature
Nolan,
length,
yeah.
or is this
I
like
could
a
do
regular?
I'd be in for a 3-hour episode.
Well,
I
the next
would love it,
we're
but I don't
hearing-
think
No,
We're
yeah.
hearing that season 8 is 6
Could
2-hour
be.
episodes.
Could be 6 feature-length 2-hour
That's
episodes.
huge.
That's massive.
And that's
I don't
coming
know.
out in like 2019.
19 or
Oh,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
if we're lucky, who knows?
Let's go. So I'm curious what you all think about strategy, and then we'll
'cause
get to some
Carl
comments.
Wilson is saying, "Oh, please, Aaron, please do more mining of scenes from the episode." So we're enjoying
The
that.
wet
Yes.
rat is the wet rat.
Yeah,
Love
that
it.
wet rat.
Well, so speaking of strategy, and I mean there could be some mime involved in this because it was quite an epic visual moment. What do we think about Daenerys' choice with the Tarleys, with Randall and Dickon?
Great
Tarley?
move. Great move. I got
Yeah?
points for the memorable death of Dickon Tarley. and I'm
Dickon, I
Dickon.
believe, yes.
I like calling him Dickon Tar.
Dickon, yeah.
But yeah, Dickon's death got me 50 points, and is part of the only reason that my points are still going up at roughly the same rate as yours. There's like
Memorable
70
deaths.
points for these memorable deaths, 50 points for memorable death, and honestly, being barbecued alive in front of all your men, memorable.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like she had to do it. I feel though the thing for me about Daenerys is like, I don't see how she would be a good leader actually in any way. I find her really...
We're starting to see the cracks in the not having any training, didn't go to leadership training.
Well, and we also found out that she does not have the strongest claim to the Mad King's throne.
Yes, okay, so this was a huge moment.
I'm not going to interrupt you.
I stood up
no
on
interruption.
my couch.
Matt, no interruption.
Okay.
Let Melissa
We will not
in honor
interrupt.
of Gilly.
Poor Gilly.
Oh, yeah, no
being
interruptions.
brutalized.
This is our moment.
No interruptions.
So, Erin, how did you feel about the fact that Gilly was about to tell Sam some rather important information about Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark?
Maybe the most important.
Maybe the most important. And then interrupted her. There's a lot. People are very fired up about this on the internet.
I haven't read a lot on the internet today.
Okay, so just tell us what you think about it. You can mime a little bit too if you want.
My initial reaction, they both don't know what they were reading. They didn't know. She's reading what they think. It's like an administrative list of activities.
Yes.
Including bowel movements.
Yes.
How are they to know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam's frustrated.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he just shut her down like that, because that was really a helpful tidbit.
I agree.
I would say.
I agree.
But how is everyone else going to find out?
That's the thing, is I don't think Gilly is the instrument through which people find this out, nor do I think Sam is, frankly. I think that was an Easter egg that was for us. That was for the audience, and the reason why we all had that reaction was, oh my god, this is so important, and then it gets shut down.
Yeah.
I do see why some people, were talking about it being mansplaining. I had someone posted it today and said something like how every woman feels in a meeting, because we do get underestimated sometimes because of our gender in situations. So I understand that reaction. I don't think that Sam is the kind of person, generally speaking, who would be a mansplainer.
He wouldn't mansplain.
No,
he wouldn't do that.
But I think he's underestimating her, and he's underestimating even the Maester, the Archmaester, because he's frustrated and he's not being heard, and he feels the urgency of what's happening.
And he's clearly at the end of his rope, because he frigging left the citadel.
He's a dropout.
Yeah, he's a dropout, man, and I love it. I love that Sam dropped out. I was like...
And just plundered the library.
Yeah.
So he's a dropout and a thief.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, how did he not lose points for that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder,
that's pretty weak. In fact, next episode, I wonder what Trevor's going to... Because Trevor has, throughout the season, been a bit unimpressed with the choices for points given to Sam. Because when he's, dealing with Maester Poop, that was a demotion.
He got demoted.
And when he cured Jorah, that wasn't really rewarded in any way.
Yeah. He should have been.
Either in universe or in our league, because honestly...
Anything to do with Jorah. No,
if you're not going to get a Maester chain for, they seem to be like Boy Scout badges. If you're not going to get one for curing frigging deadly diseases, what do you get points for? Come on. Those Maester chains can't be that hard to get.
And the thing is, Trevor Martin, that if you hadn't have gotten those demotion points, you probably would be leading now. You would be really close to me. So yeah, I feel for your
and you certainly would have been leading last episode.
Yes.
And in fact, there have been very few moments where anyone had a chance at beating Melissa ever since the very first moment in the very first episode of this season, where Arya just murdered everything.
That's what happens when you put your money behind the cold-hearted killer who's just gonna murder a bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, you've got heavy Stark.
I do.
Investments.
I love the Starks.
You've got heavy Lannister investments.
You're big in the Lannisters.
You've got the two major Lannisters that I don't have.
We kind of took a couple shots. We paired a lot. We did a lot of stacking. So we took Brienne and Tormund because we thought they might, get it going.
The big woman.
I guess the big woman. Yeah, we got 5 points for big woman last night. That's not.
I think that was our only.
We got Cersei and him.
Yeah.
But, the baby.
But we did a lot of stacking, like Ilaria and Obara. we thought they might do something together. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just, you know, it's not. We took a lot of risks, and
Were there any points where one of you wanted to draft someone,
Oh,
the
sure.
other one didn't, and there was like a
Yeah.
spirited
Yes.
debate?
oh yes.
Yeah,
Is there
the
anyone
biggest
you-
regret I would do? What's
My biggest
yours?
regret was we had a chance at Grey Worm.
Yeah.
And I was sitting
I
there
feel bad.
looking at Grey Worm, and I'm like, I think he's gonna, if he's gonna kill, he's not funny at all. I think he has more wits points than Tyrion for some reason. He's the driest,
I think you're right.
I didn't expect
unsullied.
people.
The
Yeah.
unsullied wit
And
points.
even as far as Unsullied goes, he's not funny. But
Yeah.
I think we picked Brienne instead of
We did.
Grey Worm, and I thought she might have more.
But
of a
Brienne might.
role.
But this is the thing. Like
She still could.
has time to do stuff in that
Yeah.
last episode. So you might
Right.
get. There's still a lot of
A big
points to
rush.
be had.
We're-
maybe
yeah.
a parting
Yeah.
moment with Tormund.
Well, no,
If he
Tormund's
comes
up,
back,
I think
Tormund's off to
Tormund-
his
if he
death,
makes-
I guess,
I
with
think
the rest
Tormund's
of the...
off to his death. So let's talk about
Again.
this. So I know Pat Hollinger. Yeah.
Before we get there, Carl is asking if we think the Archmaester gave Sam that book to get him to find that information.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I've heard this theory before. I've heard that before. That perhaps the Archmaester. This is all part of the Archmaester's plan to get Sam to sort of realize
would he
these things
do that?
without. Because I think it's like it's one of those student like tutor
I
students.
can't just
you
give
know?
you,
Yeah, but
teach
why
a
would
man
you
to
do that for
fish.
the
Exactly,
most-
yeah.
The most important
information to save the world.
information to save the world. Yeah.
Well, and the
don't know,
Archmaester
it's a
is
good
a bit of a
question.
conundrum.
Yeah.
Is he actually just an aloof academic who doesn't think any of this matters, or is he working a system filled with aloof academics and playing that system
is-
for Sam's benefit? And because it's Jim Broadbent,
Who did the exact same thing in Harry
In
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Slughorn.
I
Yeah,
know.
I keep thinking it. This is exactly
Yeah.
what Slughorn
You're just
did.
Don't go
Slughorn.
to the restricted part of the
Yeah, no,
library.
oh,
I can't tell you that information. Yeah.
I'm straight there.
it's like that casting choice is either an obvious one
Yeah.
or one to counter that
Inspired,
obviousness.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's inspired.
Yeah.
But also, is
I
Bran playing? Is Bran involved in this? Because he was brought up at the Meister's meeting, wasn't he?
The Maester.
Bran
Yeah,
was
because
discussing the Maester
because they
reading,
got a
yeah.
raven.
He was. So he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is he the one making sure that? Like, I don't get his power. You guys, is he controlling the scroll?
We don't know. That is what I think is interesting about Bran. I
We
know
don't know
that's
his
what
limits
some
yet.
people don't. We don't
Yeah.
know his limits. We know that he can sometimes affect time. We know
He can go back in time. We don't know
we don't
that
know
he
if
can
he
go
can
forward.
go forward. We
Right.
know that he can warg, obviously. We know that he has a connection to the Night King. What are the parameters of that connection? We don't know. Some people have even claimed or have even suggested that he is the Night King. I don't think that's the case.
I think
but
it's more of a like Voldemort Harry Potter thing there, where it's like they have a bond, it's a connection. One of them's bald, one of them's a child with bangs. I think there's a lot going on here that's pretty similar.
It's a child with bangs.
Yeah, I feel who's had like an accident, and I feel like there's this one.
There's a
or
lot of
this
there's a lot of miming happening.
Yeah,
now, Carl.
this is
I
a-
hope you like
It's
it.
helpful.
Yeah, I hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed the miming, Carl.
We got stuck in a glass box.
I think too, though, that the Starks in the books, the Starks all have a magical connection to their direwolf, and there's a suggestion that they all have some warging power. So I don't know. I find it interesting. I think Bran is going to continue to be very important in terms of understanding actually the magic of the world. As we see flashbacks and we go back to Robert's Rebellion, we're going to learn more and more about what Bran's capable of and how that factors into the greatest threat they're facing.
Now,
which is
speaking
this
of-
army of the
Speaking
the
of
undead.
the wolves, the dire wolves, did you pick up that tiny little mention that Sansa said about how we're not just going to wait around like Ghost? And it's like, oh, that's where Ghost is. Apparently he's just good at waiting around, and so...
And one day he'll show up, hopefully, and I'll
And
get
you'll
some
get some
points
points?
because I have both direwolves on my, and I got points for Nymeria, so I'm like hoping that.
For what, wits? More? Does Nymeria have more wits points than Tyrion too?
She got status points because she was leading the wolf
That's
pack.
good. Well
Yeah,
deserved.
of course she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, well, she's enormous, so... Good
She
boss.
is, yeah.
Way bigger
So
than
Pat Hollinger, just to segue into this battle that we're about to see happen. So Pat Hollinger commented and said, if one of the dragons goes over the wall, will he be touched by a White Walker and become a white dragon? So this is a big thing that they've been building
Yes,
toward,
on
right?
the internet.
Yeah, I mean,
The only thing worse than Cersei shooting a dragon dead, because then there's only 2 dragons left for the good guys, is the Night King making a dragon into his dragon, because that shifts the balance a little bit more, because now
he
it's
already has
one-on-one.
giants and apparently a polar bear.
Oh,
Right?
that's
There's
fun.
apparently he has a polar bear. In the books he does, and I think someone has said that
Well, they have
they've
horses,
seen-
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like I read something about a dragon being in the wall.
Oh.
And when the wall comes down, the ice dragon comes
That's
out.
I like that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's neat.
That would be
Yeah.
very cool.
But what would it wouldn't be fire? Like what would come out?
Lightning or frost?
Frost,
I don't know.
maybe. Like a
Like on a gum
like,
commercial.
Yes.
Just like a really frosty.
like an
It's like-
Excel
It's
commercial.
really frosty.
Yeah, like-
breath.
So I guess it could stop.
It's
the
like Elsa's
fire
just had too much dentine.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
frozen.
and
Yeah.
freeze people instead of
Maybe. Yeah, something that
Or
can
make
shut
them
down
into,
the fire.
I don't know.
maybe make them
Anti-zombies?
into White Walkers.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
White Walker lasers.
Yeah.
like Godzilla with like lightning breath.
Yeah, who
Maybe.
knows? So we've been talking a lot about death, who we presume will die, who in that fellowship of the wall. That's what I'm calling them right
Yeah.
now.
The
Fellowship
Wilburys.
of
When I saw
Of the
them last
walkers?
night,
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
remember my traveling Wilburys shirt. When I saw them
Yeah,
last night, I
yeah.
was like, it's like when the traveling Wilburys, the super group, and
Yeah.
I was very excited.
Yeah.
And
It's a great group. Like
It's a
I-
really
It's a
good
solid
group.
group.
I gotta
with some
say-
expendable characters.
Yeah, I gotta say,
just like the
it-
Expendables.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
just like the
Part
Expendables.
3.
What was it cool for me was like remembering all the connections that
Yeah.
we've forgotten. So much has happened on the show. It's so
Mm-hmm.
dense that it was so cool to be like, oh, of course, Thoros and Jorah, and then Gendry and the Brotherhood and the Hound. And Jon and
Mormont and Jon
and
and
Tormund
Jorah.
and
Yeah.
Mormont, and because of
Yeah.
Commander Mormont. And so I was like, this is so cool. Like, it's just all of these relationships coming together. I mean, we had the Jon and Gendry having their little Baratheon Stark thing,
Yeah.
which I think
There's gonna
It's
be
a lot of fan
bromance
service.
Yeah.
there.
romance.
I
if
think
he
he
survives.
might live. He might.
Gendry, you think Gendry lives?
Yeah.
I think Gendry bites it in the north.
That would be great. Like to make the fan. That would be a beautiful moment of
Yeah.
like having fans be so excited about him coming back
And
and,
then kill him.
boom.
Because
Yeah.
there's a moment in the teaser for next week where the Hound is using a warhammer, which is probably
Oh.
Give me
going
that.
to be Gendry's warhammer. Now, whether it's like, Gendry, save yourself, I'll take the warhammer. No, this is the Hound. It's like, oh, Gendry's dead.
Yeah.
And grabs
Or,
the
but
warhammer.
he might not be dead. He might just be
Hiding.
like, yeah, who knows?
Or
I
he's
mean,
a White Walker.
I think of all those people who have gone out there, of those 7, the Magnificent
Magnificent
Seven,
Seven,
yeah.
all the different groups, all the different bands we're gonna call them,
Yeah.
of all of the ones who went out, I think the most expendable are like Thoros and Beric, like the Brotherhood.
But they have to die in the right order.
Yeah, I think Thoros has to die first.
So that Beric can't come back from the dead, as
Right.
he constantly does.
I think Thoros and Beric and Tormund have all kind of reached the end of their narratives. Like,
It better
what
be
else?
memorable.
Yeah, I hope so.
And
it will
once
be. It will be. It's
Eastwatch,
Tormund.
once Eastwatch once they breach Eastwatch, you don't need the Night's Watch anymore. They're not serving any purpose.
Once they come south of that wall.
Benjen's out there somewhere,
Benjen's
right?
out there.
Benjen's hanging out. Like
I think Benjen will
Yeah.
be back
Okay.
in this episode.
because we have him too.
I
Oh,
love
yeah,
I
hopefully.
love
That was a
Benjen.
We
controversial
went heavy north.
discussion.
We went heavy
It was a
north.
controversial
That's
Yeah.
good.
Big
Now, which
northern.
one of you wanted Benjen, and who
He was-
fought against
I
it?
voted for Benjen because
Yeah.
I was like magic.
Yeah.
He like
North
made
fighting.
like violence.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I think we read something where someone was trying to tell us that was actually Ned. That something happened. I don't know. We
No,
got
there
we
was
went
another
we went
one.
into a dark hole.
There's a lot
The
of
faceless man. I think
Jack
we
and
talked
Hagar.
about him.
Oh, we have
Yes.
oh god.
There are all kinds of weird theories about him.
Yeah,
He's
there's a
even
lot
been on
of
the
theories
show.
about Jack and
He's
Hagar.
Anybody
violent
could be
and
Jack
he
and
is
Hagar.
magic.
Yeah, there have been even theories that Arya is actually Jack and Hagar. Like, there's a lot of Jack and
Yeah.
Hagar. I think Jack and Hagar is like taking a back seat for now.
Ugh.
But I think that
Trevor
Benjen-
Martin is asking,
Yeah.
what is Littlefinger's plan? Trevor thinks he's gone next episode.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Baelish dies
he's
next
that guy.
episode too.
No.
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 I
No.
think he's gone next episode.
I think Baelish's plan to pit Sansa and
Arya.
Arya against one another
Is boring.
will work. It's
so boring.
It's
and-
boring
Ugh.
compared to like
No time for that.
ice
No
giants
time for
and
that,
zombies.
exactly.
And,
No
yeah. But I
No
feel
time.
like what Littlefinger is up to is probably going to get Sansa killed.
I
That's what
disagree.
think.
You've been on the
think-
Sansa dying thing.
Yeah.
I think Sansa dies, but I
Ooh.
think that
This
Baelish
season?
dies first. I think Sansa dies next season. I think
Yeah.
Baelish dies this season. That's my plan.
I think if Baelish
By
dies,
Arya.
if Baelish,
Yes.
if
Yeah.
Baelish
Yeah,
dies,
Arya for
Sansa's
sure.
in the clear. I think Sansa's going to be fine if Baelish is dead.
No.
The problem,
Why?
the thing that is going to kill Sansa
Will
is
him doing
Baelish.
something.
Baelish getting into her mind, getting her to do something that does not work out for either of them.
Here's what I'm going to say about that. Dear D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, if you kill Sansa because of Baelish, people will hate you more than they already do, and they hate you a lot right now for lots of reasons. So I think that maybe, like, I just think that can't be redemptive.
Bolton.
I think
we need to give her some.
Yeah,
But Sansa,
she needs more redemption.
Sansa has
than
been tutored and like Stockholm syndromed by Cersei, Joffrey, Ramsay, Littlefinger.
Yes.
All the biggest psychopaths on this
She
show
spent
have had a
quality time
huge
with
influence
Tyrion.
on her.
Yes.
Tyrion,
Her mother.
Olenna.
Yeah. She's Sansa. I think there's redemption for Sansa. I think Baelish dies first. I think
We shall
he
see.
tries to pit the sisters against each other, and I think somehow that totally backfires on him. And also, it's so inconsequential. They don't have time in the story now to focus on the mutiny of the North for very long. There are too many other bigger forces that they can't possibly make a meal out of that storyline, I don't think.
I looked up what the little note says.
Yeah.
Did you guys look?
We
We
did,
did, yeah.
So,
Now this is the note that Sansa was forced to write when Joffrey beheaded Ned. Like just before.
Just before.
In that moment where she thought if she wrote this note that like disavowed her father, that they would save her father. And then she wrote it, they sent the note, and they killed him anyway. So it's
Lannisters.
possible that the reason Baelish was like, let's find this note and shred it, is because by disavowing her father, she has no right to his throne. Which means if Jon Snow dies and everything falls to Sansa, but Sansa has disavowed Ned Stark, then it falls again to Bran or Arya. And so Baelish would not want anyone to know that this note exists, because Baelish is banking on the Queen in the North, Sansa, and his, like, hopefully his wife, if he gets everything he wants, because he wants to sit on that Iron Throne with her at his side.
Can't even handle that thought. I can't even handle
I,
that.
that's what I thought.
that's
I
his
said
goal.
I was interested in that
Oh,
final
that's
image.
his. Yeah, that's
That his image, though, I like that idea that she might. I'm surprised that you guys think she's a certain death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
that whole idea is going to die, and Baelish will die, Sansa will die, all of that goes
But
away.
But don't you think that actually his plan? I mean, because it's hard to know what Baelish is up to. So don't you guys think that he actually set that all up because he knew that Arya would go and read that
Yeah.
note?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's all a ploy. Like I don't
Yeah.
even think he's thinking beyond.
Trying to get Arya killed.
He's trying to drive them apart.
Yeah, I think
Arya
so.
will probably confront Sansa, and
Yeah,
Sansa will
I
be
think-
like,
I mean, in the
wrote
trailer-
it under duress. Like, I think it'll work itself out.
Well, and so like speaking to the trailer for next episode, I think that's what they are trying to imply, that she confronts her. She already in the beginning of last night's episode, she already mentioned, you're
like
thinking
nice
about
things,
it. You
you're
like
thinking
nice
about it
things.
now.
You're
Say,
thinking about it now.
Baelish is a bad dude, and she'll be like, yeah, I know, I don't like him.
Yeah, he's
Like
sort
it's
of
not like
shitty.
Sansa's
She'd be
being.
like, "I'm
if
using
if she was in any way starting to be taken by him in any way, like, you know what, you've been great to me, but it's been like no every time.
But
no.
Yeah.
every time she says
It's
we
not
need
like-
him, she
Yeah.
feels.
Well, they do
that-
need the veil.
Yeah, and
Like-
it's his connection to her that has him there at all. If it wasn't for Sansa, there's no guarantee he would be on the side of the North whatsoever.
No, of course not. No.
So she needs to need him, or the Knights of the Vale go wherever.
Well,
it's
Pat-
expedient.
Pat Ollinger is saying that Arya's too smart to just rely on the note. That part of so talking to Sansa is to get some more information as well. I agree. Ultimately, I think that Arya is like she will outsmart Baelish. I think in the end. I hope. I don't see Arya dying anytime soon. That's just me.
I don't
Oh,
think
definitely.
Arya's going to die,
Yeah.
but the fact that Jan Royce and Glover are both in conversations with Baelish about this, what's obviously a mutiny going on here, because Sansa just sits there and listens to a bunch of people say, the King of the North should be in the North. And it's like,
Yeah, everybody needs to get over it.
Yeah,
He's
calm
not in the
down,
North.
right?
Do other things.
Yeah.
Get some grain. Prepare for the fact that you have to fight some ice zombies.
Get
I
some
don't
grain.
understand.
Put some leather on the inside of your armor.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Sew some like warm clothes. I don't know. Do something more productive than complain. I'm so tired of these Northerners who just complain.
yeah.
I mean,
it's true.
Jon Snow has been through so much. Stop it. Just stop it. Sorry, that's my rant
About Northerners.
Glover and Royce and all of them.
Although since Dickon just died,
Karstark, all of them.
Dickon.
since Dickon just died, I picked up Ned Umbridge?
The Umber.
Umber. Ned Umber.
The Umbers, yeah.
I picked up Ned Umber, that kid who got a couple of points in the first episode. I don't know if he'll show up again, but he's going to get more points than a charbroiled Dickon will.
Like a lot of people were there was high hopes. I liked the Dickon, the introduction of Dickon, and then his murder is the same thing. I kind of feeling for the Gendry.
Yeah, for Gendry's like return and murder.
Because you were saying that there was like a big fan service episode, but I thought they missed a couple fan service moments where like there were things that we could have seen, like, I don't have grayscale anymore. Oh, how did you get rid of it? A man named Sam taught it. And then John would go, oh, that's my friend. That would have been for me. That would have been fan service. I'd been like, yeah, the world's... And they didn't give us that. But then they gave us, like, some of the other stuff that, all right.
That hilarious moment where Gendry's like, yeah, sure, Onion Knight, I'll go in there and say that I'm... not who I am, and then he just
Clovis,
and then he just, I love that he just walks in and is like, "Hi, I'm Baratheon's bastard. You're Jon Snow. Our parents were buddies. Hey, let's be friends." And
a little comedic.
I love Gendry.
It was good time.
I love Gendry.
I'm not Team Gendry.
No, I've been Team Gendry since I've always been like, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back.
To do what though?
But I think he's gonna come back and die in the North.
He's like not even close to one of the.
I feel like Thoros, Beric, Tormund, and Gendry are all potentially gone.
They're the likeliest to die.
Not the Hound.
The Hound will not die.
I want to see the Hound and the Mountain fight.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know that's going to happen.
The Mountain,
I heard
and
all
he's
about
done
that.
nothing.
Yeah.
Clegane Bowl.
Well, Clegane Bowl is not going to happen this season.
I know. Next season, I'll have to
You
draft
them
all over again.
But I also feel like I hope Jorah doesn't die, because I think, not only because I love him and I drafted him, but also because I think if they do that with both Gendry and Jorah, where they're like, Gendry redemption, Jorah redemption,
dead,
and then they both die, I feel like that's a repeated beat that I don't really want to see.
It would be
they've done a lot of repeated beats.
They have.
Like Theon John this last week, that like, oh, I hate you, but I won't kill you is very much the Tyrion Jaime. I hate you, but I won't kill you. It's all
Speaking of which, where's Theon now?
Yeah, Theon just sort of showed up at Dragonstone and then was nowhere.
If anyone knows where Theon is...
He wasn't even in that
1-800. Yeah. Where's Theon?
He's on the side of Milk Gardens.
A roster of characters and like, where are they?
That would be... I'd like that.
Like Grey Worm has been forgotten.
Just to know where... We need a map. Like, where are they now?
I think there is a YouTube channel. I don't know if it's Emergency Awesome or if it's... I have to look it up. I'll try and post it under the video. That does a Where Are They? Where they take a map and they show you so that you can keep track. Because it is starting to get a bit confusing.
Yeah, the fact that
we're
Theon
involving
wasn't
Essos
in any meetings happening around the big map at Dragonstone.
No. Well, he won't get to go to that VIP.
He's the highest ranking Greyjoy person.
But that's like...
He's also so problematic. Nobody trusts him.
He's also in charge of like 6 dudes
families.
Now.
No. She doesn't care about the important families.
No.
She wants
to break the wheel. You can't break the wheel and have Theon around.
Yep.
So, any other predictions based on the trailer? Or
so
what
we're
we think
expecting a dragon to show up in the north of the
wall? There's this whole theory out there that Dragon Ex Machina happens, where Daenerys somehow gets notice or has a second thoughts and
watches Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
I think she'll have second thoughts and she'll be like, I need to go help him. I think she will.
What if the dragon in that moment with Jon Snow just knows to go?
Maybe.
The dragon's like, I can feel what's going on up there.
My
I'm out of
Targaryens
here.
need me.
I gotta go help my
Where are you going? And Daenerys is like, where are you going? And the dragon just takes off, and it's like, like any mother and son, at some point the son leaves the runs away for a night and comes back.
Yeah.
But like
with Jon Snow in his arms,
there was like that moment, right? Like I feel like the dragon can stir and feel.
That was a really special moment.
It was. That dragon moment was quite beautiful.
Do you want a dragon there? We're talking about. Do we
want it in the north?
Do you want the dragon up there, or do you want to see the team, the Magnificent Seven, take care of it?
No, because it's a dumb plan that's not going to work. They need a dragon.
Yeah.
Like what? It's just not going to work.
Hit a walker over the head with a heavy bottle and then drag it.
Like how?
It is a terrible plan.
They don't really move individually either. They're always in a big.
Yeah, you never see them alone.
Yeah.
So
Old Blue Eyes is sometimes by himself, but then his guy
all
show up.
Yeah. The Night King, great. That's great.
Old Blue Eyes.
I think he should like sing some Frank Sinatra just for you, David. Just like into.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, there's that great GIF of the Night King
where he's just
doing the shimmy. It's such a good GIF.
It's a solid GIF.
Yeah.
A thing I thought might happen, which I'm not as convinced anymore, with the whole bend the knee.
Oh my God, get
Over
over
and
it.
over.
Yeah.
Power
I
trip,
thought
man.
maybe, there might be another kind of bending the knee where Jon and Daenerys have a more equal alliance.
Yes.
Through
yes.
marriage.
Through marriage.
It is
They
so
don't know they're
obvious.
related yet. Also, like, aunt, nephew, not as incestuous as brother
And
And
sister.
Targaryens do that anyway.
Yeah,
They
I was
do that.
just
But
gonna
also,
say
Game,
exactly
like
that.
Game of Thrones isn't really for the like beautiful proposals. It's not, will you marry me?
Well,
It's
he
like,
won't
hey, you
bend
want to
his
share
knee.
some
He won't
land?
bend
And
his
like,
knee.
Yeah.
and we'll.
What was interesting about that there when they parted ways on Dragonstone before they took that boat out to the north was sounds so crazy.
The river cruise.
The river cruise to the north, to the wall, to Eastwatch.
5-minute cruise.
Yeah, that's right. Our 3-hour tour.
Express.
3 hours.
But yeah, I feel like it was interesting because Daenerys now is feeling very attracted to him.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's sexual or not,
Yeah.
it's mostly I think about feeling
Respect.
a kinship
It
and
looks sexual
respect
to me.
with a little bit of sexiness. I
Yeah.
think. I mean,
She did.
Jon Snow's got it going on. So I feel
If you
like
that type of thing.
if you like that type of guy, if you like a northerner, but nice.
The hair.
The hair, yeah.
All
there's a
the
lot of-
hair.
yeah.
Lots of hair on
Lots
this
of
couch.
hair on
Yeah.
this couch. I feel like she had a real moment of wanting him to connect in that way, and he was all business.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Well,
there.
and especially since he connected with her pets. It's like when the
Her children, babe, they're children.
with her
They're
children.
not
Her
pets.
pets.
No, not pets.
They're
You
not-
know, when
they're
your
not beasts.
dog-
They're not pets.
when you have this person you're interested in come over and your dog likes them, it's like
Yeah.
they pass a test,
Yeah,
and it's like
it's
if,
true.
if your dragon doesn't eat him, maybe he's okay.
Yeah.
they not only did the dragon not eat him, they like.
Had a little
Moment.
touchy feely.
Bonded.
Yeah.
Why
'Cause-
did she do that in the first place, though?
I think she was trying to
It's
intimidate.
pretty aggressive.
And it did not work.
It did not work.
And the dragon smiled, right? Was that a smile?
It kind of looked like a
Drogon.
Or a
smile.
smile with
It was-
smiled
it
with
was
his
like a
eyes.
little-
Yeah, it was a smile.
Yeah,
It was a dragon
smile.
smile.
It was a dragon smile.
Yeah.
He's gonna win America's Next Top Dragon.
I was gonna say
next
yeah,
season.
yeah.
So any other predictions, or we think we're just gonna wait and see how that? This is, I think, the least I feel I've known going into an episode. Like the most questions I've had moving into an episode this season.
Carl is asking if we actually have this cockamamie plan happen before our eyes, and they pick up a White Walker and they throw it at Cersei. What is Cersei's play? Is she like, oh yeah, altruism, unity, let's
Living
like,
in.
That's why it's a dumb plan.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
gotta think that Cersei. I mean, obviously Cersei has a more manipulative plan. She said in yesterday's episode that she wanted to handle it like Tywin would.
yeah,
and
but
so,
we're not gonna win a full-on assault. So
Yeah.
the best thing for us to do is say, yeah, armistice, awesome. But then what does she do if she can't win a fight?
Yeah,
It's gonna be interesting to see.
I think too. Like, have we seen Daenerys be low enough yet? Like, I feel like they've played with this, like she was losing to Cersei, but now she's sort of back on top.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if she really is going to be the one who rises, at least even if it's with Jon, I don't know that that's been a satisfying enough heroine's journey for me in terms of like getting her to the leadership position that they're trying to get her to.
yeah.
That's
She's
I
still
don't know.
not
I'm
much of a-
unsatisfied by that. But
She's still not much of a leader. Jon Snow is kind of the best, most selfless leader there, and the idea that he eventually finds out that he has a claim to the Iron Throne and is the king in the North and could break the wheel.
he has no interest in.
He doesn't want
He
to.
has the best claim.
He does
Yeah.
the strongest claim. Yeah.
And
'Cause of Rhaegar.
He's the nicest.
Yeah, he's
He
the one who
is.
can actually lead.
Yeah.
And I feel like the idea that he's the one who doesn't want to be the king, but is a great leader, that's a great spot to thrust
It's a-
power to.
But
Yeah,
this
it's a
move-
very Gondor time. It's
Exactly.
a very
This move, I don't think this is a great leadership move. The plan.
If you want something done, do it yourself.
Fellowship
No,
of
the
Wall?
fellowship of the
Fellowship.
Whatever the plan is. There
Yeah.
a name for the plan?
Fellowship of the Wall.
Terrible plan number 8.
Yeah,
Club,
Eastwatch.
Club of Walker and like I don't understand like.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Operation Club of Walker.
He should
Yeah.
have stayed like
He doesn't
another
delegate
half day
very well,
to
yeah.
win over Daenerys.
yeah.
Get the alliance going.
But
And
I
then
think
go
he
up
feels
with
the
dragon.
urgency,
Three dragons
though,
north.
right?
Yeah.
He feels
Yeah.
the urgency of what, and he also, again, Jon is the only one besides Sam really who's seen,
Who knows,
who knows. And I think when you're the one who knows and people are having a hard time believing you, you really do feel like you have to go out and do it. I understand that impulse. I just wonder. I wonder if they're going to have to give Daenerys more obstacles, so I wonder what those will be.
Well, and the fact that he's willing to play the long game to get the dragon glass, but not willing to play the long game to get the dragons is kind of bonkers.
Yeah.
Like, you say, tell you what, instead of bending the knee, let's get married, you'll be the queen, I'll be the warden of the north, it'll all be our kingdom, and oh, by the way, take your dragons north and melt all the zombies.
But that's the Stark in him. The Stark in him is short-term thinking. So the Starks, I love them, but they're not very good long-term planners.
And he was raised by
They
Starks.
also, they mostly marry for love.
They seem to...
Rob Stark certainly did.
Rob was in love, and John's only love was a wildling, which he loved her. That wasn't a strategic.
In real life, they're engaged.
Yeah. And I like that both Daenerys and Jon had these like true loves that were these wild and crazy hearts that they met.
You're talking about Dario Naharis?
No,
Khal
Drogo. I was like, for a second,
that was Daenerys. Love at first sight.
Daenerys' only love.
That wasn't like Archie at the soda shop.
Well, that's the thing. They both
started
as these adversarial situations,
right,
and then became love interests.
Yeah, that's true.
And the idea that they both went through this weird, like, Stockholm syndrome kind of thing with a lover, and now they can come together and discuss their needs for therapy. It's an interesting...
Yeah, guys, come together. Go to couples therapy together.
Yeah, and talk about how Khal Drogo and Ygritte were both, like, beastly monsters in their own way.
But Pat Hollinger, just for you guys, she says, will Brienne save both Sansa and Arya from an overthrow, releasing her from the vow to her mother, which would do very well.
Incredible.
If Brienne stepped in,
points.
she'd get some good points. And Brienne, I think, still has a major... I thought her function would be mostly with Jaime, and maybe it will next season, but we'll see.
Yeah,
they could have,
and if she had a bit of functioning with Tormund, you guys would be pretty happy.
Given all the things that happened this season, it would have been nice if Brienne could have been included in the Magnificent Seven and become...
It would have been
that
awesome.
That would have been great. She's a good fighter. Put her there. She's beside the Hound, who she's
There's
beat.
no girl power.
Like, there's no... I mean, like, Sandbridge, she's good.
She's the best fighter of the bunch of them.
There wouldn't be any way, in the way that they've structured this, for that to happen.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on,
Hey,
let's
Brienne,
go.
what's up?
What are you doing?
Come
Nothing?
over.
Because they were traveling by time-traveling speedboat, the only way to get up there wouldn't have passed through Winterfell.
They could have figured it out. They could have... Like,
I agree. I mean...
horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't take horses to the wall. They just walked through.
I think they strolled up with their like cage that they can only carry over their shoulders or something. Like there were some guys carrying a cage.
Yeah.
They missed that giant. They really missed.
They really,
And it's a shame he's now an evil monster.
He's on the other side
ice
now.
giant. Yeah.
So we're all, as you can tell, really anticipating it. We can't wait to be back next week and chat. Thank you all for your questions and your comments.
And do interact online if you see this video after it plays live, because we check these, we talk, we continue the conversation, and show up next Monday at 8 o'clock and talk with us live, because this has been super fun. It's been great talking to Trevor and Carl and Pat, and be a part of it next week, because we love chatting with you guys.
And it's sure to be a very eventful episode.
Yeah. So until next week.
Cheers!
Cheers! Thrones, yeah! Couch of Thrones, yeah! Couch of Thrones! Fucking Couch of Thrones, fucking Couch of Thrones, fucking Couch of Thrones.